Hello everyone, this is JPO, and I just want to thank you all for another fun year. Yeah, we're done with 2024. Another year has gone by. I say this every year, time goes by quickly. This year felt slower the most. Last year I had to deal with the whiplash craziness of graduating university and then having half a year where I'm filled with like this anxious waiting of what's gonna happen next, what jobs are gonna fall through, to just have it end anticlimactically where it doesn't fall through. And that's where I started doing more content. This year is a lot of the same, where I haven't had much luck finding stable work. And I do work every month or so, every other month or so. I do have like a gig here and there. And every time I work a gig, time goes by pretty quickly. In between those gigs, time goes by pretty slowly. So this year has been a thing of like fast, slow, which is ultimately underwhelming in my personal life. But on the YouTube side of things, on the creative side of things, this has been a pretty fun and productive year where last year I returned to doing reaction videos with my reactions to Generation 1 of My Little Pony. This year I finished those reactions and I made a pretty fun video reviewing all the Generation 1 stuff. I've also now continued on to My Little Pony Tales Gen 1.5. Finished that this year. Next year, some fun videos about that's going to be coming out. And yeah, this year I also had the fun privilege of starting to do live streams, because some experimental videos that I released, got some traction. And so I continued doing that with live streams with Pony Guessers, and that's been fun to just try all that. And so yeah, and because of that, this year, I had the wonderful feeling of reaching 500 subscribers, which is not a whole lot, but considering that I've been here for over 10 years now, 500 is like a milestone that I wanted for like 10 years now, and so we got it this year, and it's great. Not only did I reach 500 subscribers, I also watched 500 films. There's a live stream where I'm reviewing what I watched this year, and so yeah, that's a lot of films. I would not recommend anyone ever watch 500 films. Because at some point you're just gonna start hating movies when you do that. It is an interesting experience. It's the most films I've ever watched in a single year of my life. I do not ever want to watch 500 films in a year again, and so that's kind of my declaration from this point on. I want to keep myself busy and not be at a point where I have so much free time where I can watch 500 films, which is, we did some math, and that's 36 straight hours. 36 days of like non-stop watching films. That's a lot. It could be more, but that's what we had to work with. On the podcast side of things, Binging Barbie has continued to move on, continued to grow slowly by slowly. We've since we've like completed all watching through Barbie films, we've just went through a bunch of different stuff this year, like High School Musical, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, Transformers, Monster High, Sonic, and next year we have another fun set of lineups of things to watch, including one very major thing that's gonna and I'm actually really excited for. And I hope it turns out pretty well once we actually start that with the podcast. But it's going to be a long ways before we actually start that next year. But look forward to that. On the podcast name and brackets side of things, we started to do a monthly podcast series where we talk about our top 5 films of different years. So starting with the 2000s, so each of those years we're doing our top 5 every month. So that's been a thing here. Continuing on with my channel itself, the main channel, I also continue to do reaction videos. I continued with my nostalgic reaction that I started a couple years back, and I'm finally continuing on. Those have been fun, somewhat successful every now and then, but I enjoy taking a look back at fandom history and seeing what has changed in my perspective of those things. And I guess like the last bit of major stuff that I did for YouTube on my secondary channel is that there are a bunch of reaction videos that I did for different cartoons over the years that were blocked, and so this year I've been going over and editing through those to get them copyright friendly. They're like over 5 years old and they're not great, but I just wanted to make sure that they were available for people who wanted to see them or not. So that's been a thing that I've been working on alongside reacting to the Pony Show and the different things. You know, it can get tiresome, but with my new way of editing videos and just getting part of projects, it's been fun. I enjoy it more now than just the mundane stuff I did years ago. So looking forward to the future of next year, it's gonna be a lot of the same. Maybe I'll slow down, maybe I won't, but I will be continuing on with Generation 3 in reactions. There'll be a couple more, there'll be a few more nostalgic reactions, probably once a month, maybe 2, for however long that's gonna go. The podcast and things could be going on for a couple years, so we're not done with that. But there is a couple like unrelated videos. I mentioned a big project last year in an update video that's just, it's a lot, and it's gonna be coming out next year, guaranteed. There's a deadline and it's gonna happen, and I've been teasing it for so long, and I hope it turns out well once we finally get to that point. There might be a couple other random projects that I make here and there. We'll see what happens next year, but I'm not gonna watch 500 films, and I'm just gonna do things when I feel like doing them. Will I continue to do the live streams? Maybe I will. We'll see what happens. It should be another fun year, hopefully. I do hope that next year I finally get that big job, that I can finally not worry about the time between gigs. So yeah, once again, thank you for a fun year of YouTube and just, you know, subscribing, interacting, watching videos. It's been a long time since I've been invested in YouTube, and so finally being invested again this year has been a wonderful feeling. So yeah, thank you guys for a wonderful 2024, and hopefully the next one will be fun. So yeah, Happy New Year.